water rafting, you know.
Meanwhile, Dan and I took our lives in our hands and explored the mill.
I am not going to escape from this river dry, I'm certain of it. It's all right for you with your 7-foot legs. Obviously, Dan, I can see the bare bones of the structure, but what would have actually been in here? What would it have looked like?
This is where the great water wheel would have been. I mean, a big axle coming across here. I suppose that hole represents where the main, water wheel axle went. This stuff here is fascinating. I mean, this is the kind of the rise. What happens is the water comes in here, of course, and then it accelerates. Is that why they build them? That's right. To pour into the bucket on the water wheel here, turning round. It would be big, really big, way up there, with gears taking the power to the various bits of, machinery that it was working. Was built, I suppose, first half of the 18th century, but but it's been neglected, as you can see, an awful long time. For a start, the river bottom is rough.
I know.
Watch out.
It's pretty tricky, all this. Hey, what's this, Dan? I've just spotted what could
God,
be
I'm in
evidence.
Oh.
What's this?
Oh, my God. Hang on to my stick, Juliet. This, Juliet, is very exciting. It's handmade. It's wrought iron. It's a fixing for 2 beams. It's wonderful. These are handmade nuts and bolts. This is early, pre-mass production, probably late 18th century. Construction, part of the mill wheel, part of the machinery in this place.
Well, shall we,
Shall I get out of here?
Yeah, let's get out of here. I think I've done enough river for today.
That's right. Not
Just don't get too confident now, because now is the time you're most likely to go flying. Going?
Not bad.
Good. You look as if you should be making cakes and not paper with that hat on.
Oh, well, this is the traditional papermaker's hat. The vatman that used to work at this place wore it all the time to show he was in charge.
OK, well, you are in charge.
He used what was called a mould and a decal, which is a lid, if you like.
Right.
And he put it together like that and simply scooped the pulp out and then shook it. And that locks the fibres together. We then drain it, take the decal off and drain it again. So once we've drained it, we take it, if you can...
Yeah.
And we turn it, you put your things underneath, turn it over in the air, and it doesn't drop off.
It's magic.
Surface tension. Squeeze down hard.
To get rid of excess
water. And roll it off. If we're lucky, there we go. So that's a sheet of paper.
Finish as possible.
That's right.
Right.
Put it up. Now shake, vibrate. And now vibrate.
Wiggle.
Cold.
Wiggle, not your bum.
Not your bum, this.
Your hands.
You see it going flat?
No.
No.
I see it going quite lumpy, actually.
Yeah, well, that's all right. OK, stop. Now let it drain a little while.
No, it's gone all patchy.
That's just
As you've got a big clump in the corner.
That's all right, doesn't matter. Now turn it over there.
Really?
Yeah, yes. No, come on. In the air, in the air. Now slowly down.
So that's paper.
Look at that.
What do you think?
So while we had fun, had Judith cracked the case?
Great news, because I have got the final word on Henry Cook and the mill. Because in the parish register for Richmond, 1832, we see Henry Cook, so he'd actually moved from here to premises at Richmond. I also found a lease here talking about Henry Cook, papermaker of Richmond, where he is seeking permission to erect a mill sufficiently powerful to drive 3 or 4 engines.
Fascinating. I mean, I guess that's because he was embracing new technology, big steam engines, which simply wouldn't fit in this quaint little building behind us.
So what happened to the mill here then?
Well, again, in the documents, Abbey Mill listed an 1881 census as being owned by Robert Barker, miller and farmer. And in 1891, in the census, we see that it's now owned by a cattle dealer. So between 1881 and 1891, closing of the mill.
So why did it stop? What was the reason behind that?
We've hit a fascinating moment in British history. We're seeing the time when small, water-powered, local industry in little mills like this were being abandoned in favour of big, steam-powered mills in the city.